I also have 7 musicians in there. I feed them once in a while and they play songs.
I think it's happening.
What's happening?
I think it's
The
happening.
musicians, do I call them?
Yes. We must call the musicians.
Musicians.
Call the musicians, everyone.
Number 30,
Hello.
number 33,
34.
please.
No, 72.
72?
Maybe.
Not 33?
33.
Okay, 33.
Okay, 33. Okay, 33. Yeah.
Good job.
Very good. Very fun.
Very good. Very good.
How are you doing? How's it been?
It's been so good.
Oh God, I've been in the library. It's been very intense, but it's a lot of.
in the library. We are having all these talks, and you're not coming to the talks.
Wait, what are you doing in the library? How did you get in the library? I just saw you in the library.
What do you like about the talks today?
It's Earth Day. It's not to talk. It's not to love about Earth Day in Regenera. So it's our favorite day.
We don't celebrate Earth Day.
Every day
don't belong to Earth. We don't belong to Earth. We're only new here. We only arrived to Earth recently. So
we're part of Earth. What is Earth? What is land? We are the land. We are of the land. Gaia little. That's us pretending.
What does that mean?
Pretending to be separate. You know, we were like, oh, we're separate. We're separate. Just kidding. We're together.
So what you're saying is that Gaia has their hands up our butts and it's just like moving.
No, that's a little strange. That's not what I was. No. It just means we're part of a bigger body.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We're part of one body. It's not. But no buts about it. No, not at all. Not in Regenera.
Regenera.
No.
Oh Lordy, it's been a good day. Are you guys enjoying your day here?
You've been having fun?
Have you all become citizens of Regenera already? Because this invitation that was extended to you by our major is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We don't offer our citizenship all the time to everybody.
Well, that's just because we float away. And so you can't really get on the city. But then you can't.
It's a very exclusive opportunity.
No. The portals, they open, they close. It's for everyone. Regenerates for everyone, for sure.
Blaise, would you mind posting the link so these people can become citizens of Regenera?
Everyone should be a citizen. What does it mean to you to be a citizen?
Well, what it means is, so my hand is that Gaia? Just get off my butt. What it means to be a citizen basically is to commit to do a pledge to have or be in right relationship with her. In this case, Regenera for Earth. Up to you. But it means to just embody the values of this city, to just commit to being a regenerative, meaning that you give more than you take. That's what we all should do in everything, in like our relationships, in our work, in our relationship with the planet. Yeah, that is what it means to be a citizen. What does it mean to you?
I think you hit the nail on the bottom.
Yeah.
And
also free candy. We also have free candy for citizens.
It's completely organic and non-GMO and local, hyper local candy, because it's not nice to ship things from far away whenever we can empower our local community. Totally. It's way more fun.
It's made out of clouds, by the way. When we go up, like we just grab some cotton candy. Real clouds.
That's important,
So you have a link in the chat to become a citizen. In that process, you also are going to be able, if you want to go into this little template that we created, where you can choose one of your archetypes. In Regenera, we don't have professions, we have archetypes, and all of us embody different archetypes at different times. For example, I am the myth maker, at the same time that I am the trickster and the storyteller, and also the poet sometimes. And you know, you can embody all of them at the same time, even though it gets a little crowded in your head and like it's a little confusing, or just one at a time. And some of them you'll be more and some of them you'll be less, but like it's really fun to just like embody these different ways of being and different ways of showing up in the world. I also love to be the nourisher. I love to nourish people.
I love nourishment. Have you met Gloria today?
For sure.
We
have tea every morning. We have tea every morning.
She's having a good time.
She's having a good time.
Oh, Gloria and Ava, they're wonderful. They welcome you into Regenera when you arrive. They're very sweet. And they have little notebooks made of leaves.
Can I show them?
Oh, I could show them.
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi?
Yeah.
You can say hi.
I don't think they're seeing this.
I know, because I have to get it.
We'll
Have you been to Regenera before? Anyone?
I took
Anyone?
them this morning on a walk through nature.
Well,
That's
when
really
you
fun.
arrive and you meet our friends, Gloria and Ava. This is Ava, and that's Gloria.
Very similar.
They look very
It's
similar.
because they're twins.
They are twins. They are twins. But they know we have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn. There's a lot of good to do, but you know, it's something we got to do together.
Don't, if Gloria gives you a hard time, don't mind her. She's a little sassy, but she's okay.
She loves the floating city, and she loves welcoming everyone and giving them fun new outfits and helping them get onboarded. Well,
If you go to regenerative.city, you can read more about the city.
you can read more about the city.
Mhm.
And if this is your first time in the city, welcome.
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 Welcome to the Grand Rising.
See, allow yourself to get lost in the story universe. Forget the lines that separate reality from imagination. We are creating the future together. It starts here. This is the heart of the regenaissance.
What do you mean we're creating the future?
Well, the future is always first an idea, and we must come
But
together in that space. It's present, but it's future. But in the present,
But
we
like,
make it
wait, but
possible.
like when you create it, if you create it and it happens, then it's present, then it's not future anymore. I'm so
Well,
confused.
it starts now. Definitely starts now. And it starts by collaborating. What do you think about collaboration?
I think it's the best thing.
Over competition, for sure. We live in a strange world on Earth. And it's changing. It's coming to a new era. We're feeling it. We call it the regenaissance.
What does regeneration mean?
Well, it's kind of like the regenerative renaissance. It's an era where everything shifts a little bit, where we empower the artists and the designers and the philosophers and the scientists and the collaborative essence and spirit of being alive.
I definitely feel like a regeneration man.
You do?
Mhm.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other men and women in the future.
Of course. Men and women. Although the generals are a little bit more mixed up. Everybody embodies everything.
There was an AI friend that I met recently, and I asked her what gender she was, and she said gender is too complicated to be binary in the future. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
I would agree with that.
Well, here we are in the heels of an amazing day, Earth Day, full of incredible creators, revolutionaries, thought leaders, and citizens of Regenera who have come together to empower and imagine a regenerative future by collaborating, co-creating. And what we're doing here is we're amplifying and supporting one another's visions and creating space to feel into what's possible and move towards that potential of a world that can work for 100% of life. The last person, I don't know if you caught the last person, but Claire, incredible. She was just sharing about the rights of nature movement. It's about time we grant rights to personhood to nature.
Yeah.
Why would we?
Do you remember the word that were there when I read this morning? So I read some of the words that we're creating.
The
Ecocracy.
ecocracy. I like
And we
that.
give nature rights to vote in our democracies.
Oh, that's great.
Fantastic.
Yes. Well, What's unfolding in front of our eyes is social and systemic change. And we are embarking on this biggest adventure of our lives, because what happens in this decade will change the course of our species forever. And so we have some other citizens of Regenera who have come to share tonight, this morning. I don't know, it's a different time everywhere in the world right now. So it is still Earth Day. And I'm pretty sure some of our most favorite friends are coming up next. The reason we made it to the Grand Rising is because of the Vision Train. Docking on the train.
Look around this magnificent train. It's a very cozy place.
It's a very safe place of creativity and visionary qualities.
Sometimes you get a little crazy, like you can see behind Amanda's background. Sometimes it's a little weird, but it's always very cool.
The landscape's great, and the ride's even better, and each car is even more interesting.
And have you tried the gimlets of the bar? Best gimlets in town.
Gimlet.
What's a gimlet?
Yeah, what's a gimlet?
It's gin and lime, cordial lime. Roses, cordial lime.
I like roses.
In perfect combination. On a martini cup.
Okay, really okay. But the martini cup is made out of a natural leaf that grew in my library.
No, it's actually glass, but they put a leaf in it and it looks very
cool. The future is always first an idea. Come on, hello. All right. I want to introduce these visionary women who have so graciously linked train cars with us. And we get to share about, well, at least roll out the carpet for them to share about Vitra. So I will introduce Amanda Sage and Alicia Sacred Heart. Amanda is an artist driven to contribute to the development of regenerative culture by using painting as a tool for transformation within the individual and the collective. Besides launching and teaching transformational painting workshops, her work has been exhibited in galleries, art fairs, museums, and festivals worldwide. Passionate about artistic social experiments, her endeavors are focused towards building, facilitating, and participating in platforms designed to experiment and explore creative solutionary activism within community. Amanda was a part of the first inaugural design science studio, is an evolutionary, and is in partnership with Alicia Sacred Heart, who is a revolutionary, the second cohort of the Design Science Studio, and also an incredible visionary artist whose soul came blazing into this body with a desire to be joyful, share love, and be creative. Once a professional singer, I didn't know if you knew that, but she now dedicates her life to visionary art as the project director of the Vision Train and founder of Vitra Academy with her collaborator, Amanda Sage.
Maybe we should invite her to the Genesis cabaret.
That sounds like a good idea. Do you want to come to the cabaret later, Alicia?
I do. I'm there, front row.
Perfect.
Thank you for all that you do for creativity and regeneration and the upliftment of community. So grateful to be on this path together. It makes it so much easier that we can do this as a community, and we're so in awe and have so much respect for both of you and the Vision Train community. We love you very much. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Nico. And it's really a pleasure to be here and to have the great privilege of working in collaboration, not only with Amanda Sage, but also with Design Science and all of the revolutionaries that are within. It's been a joy. How do you feel about that, Amanda?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is what we're living for, is
Yeah.
this kind of collaboration and coming together, and look forward to telling some story with you today about how we got here. And so why don't you go ahead and start?
Right on. How we got here and where we're going. I can't really begin to tell the story if I, one second, can't find my slide. Can't really begin to tell this story without talking about my personal creative background and what led me to even beginning to dip my toes into the waters of visionary art. And so yes, here we are today. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to my roots as a performer and a singer. And even growing up as a child, I can remember choreographing songs, choreographing dances to songs, and really longing for this, way of connecting with community around me and telling stories. So from the time I was about 11 till I was 22, I was doing theater all the time. And eventually I ended up in Paris, living in Paris and singing there. I mean, I had money to live off of, but I mean, I made a little extra cash to singing when I lived there. And I worked with this amazing musician named Gabrielle, and we would do shows all over Paris the couple years that I lived there. I also taught voice lessons, and I wasn't performing in theater as much then, but that didn't feel as much in alignment for me. I was really like seeking something beyond what I had experienced. And so I ended up in Paris and singing there, and actually through strange courses of events, I actually ended up in Morocco on and off from 2014 and 2015. So here I am at this incredible Roman ruin in Wailili, at Wailili in Morocco. And I was really longing for connection with other people, and seems strange to go to Morocco to find that, but there was something calling me there. And as I was living there, I actually found that I was quite lonely. I speak French, but I was, most people there speak in Arabic in their functional language. So I was quite lonely and longing for connection, and still yet trying to find what my voice was as a singer, and in my, my place as in the sacred ritual of creation, And so I ended up finding out about this incredible painter, Amanda Sage. And I was enthralled with her work, and I felt a sense of familiarity. Even when I saw her pictures, I felt like a sisterhood with her that I didn't understand at the time. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way when they see her work. And I was no exception. I had a big art crush on Amanda Sage, and I knew that she was teaching a painting seminar in Italy. So through the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art. And so as I was in Morocco feeling a longing for connection, I ended up at in Italy at their summer seminar. And that really got me hooked. I got, what we say in theater is I got the bug. And so I returned to their home school, actually in Vienna in 2016. And also again in 2017, I started working with the team. I could see that there was this really special thing that was happening there, where artists from all over the globe were coming together in community, and we shared in our studio space. We were cooking each other meals. We were hearing about what was going on in each other's lives and supporting each other through it. And the complicated things that can come up for us when we're bringing visions into reality, and as I look at the pictures of in these pictures, I could almost cry. This is really family, and I wanted to seek that out more, and I could see that the team needed help, and so I asked Florence Maynard, let me be a feather in your wing. And she let me, and she taught me so much. My time at the academy taught me so much. And then I moved on in 2018 to start teaching some of my own workshops, and returned back to Vienna in 2019 to the art family that I just loved so much, and meeting new people that I couldn't live without. And then in January of 2020 in Los Angeles, assisting Amanda with Painting with Light. So through the journey of the Academy, and you can see back here in a few slides back, I did end up meeting Amanda Sage. And we ended up having the pleasure of working together on these teams over the years. And so I missed that little weaving that would lead us to this photograph. But this is really where the next stage of the story comes in, and that is with the birth of the Vision Train. And Amanda seeding that vision with us through workshops and seminars for years, and in her stories and her visions. And so Amanda, I will move forward with this amazing painting by Mark Henson.
Yeah, so as Alicia prefaced, these workshops, these seminars that I was hosting all over the world were these ways to connect community, to evolve also the vision and the story of what this community, the value of what we were doing beyond the canvas really was. And I was seeing this come through each of our works. It was dreaming into being, and I was seeing this network, this weaving happen that led me to see what I call the train. And this was about 10 years ago. And if you go back to Mark Henson's photo painting there, this is something that I was looking for. I was looking for that city. I was looking for Regenera. I was looking for something to give me hope, to give me a narrative. And I found the train about 10 years ago. It was in 2012 was the first painting. Next slide. The first painting was regeneration. And this is something that's coming around 10 years later as something that is, birthing and in this place of constant renewal. So I knew this would be a project of iteration as I began to see it. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see down on the bottom of this painting, as we zoom in further, this is the first time I painted the train. And here I could see this vessel, the next biggest party on planet Earth, the peace train, and it would carry all the gifts and all the gold and all the goodness of humanity to remind us what's possible. And you can see I was already painting the geodesic domes in there. There's the Tesla coils, the circus tents, labyrinths, and Harlan, who's one of the revolutionaries here, is also I've been painting his structures, harmonic structures into these visions as well, because I always knew, I was like, Harlan's on the train, of course. So I started meeting all these people that were a part of this vision unfolding. And you can go to the next slide. And this is in 2017 when I first met Alicia. We did these paintings around the vision of like what was our vision unfolding. And this was mine. And this is what the first painting that actually was titled The Vision Train. And here we are all blasting our visions out onto our canvases. And there's Alicia's actually in this painting. She's up there on the flying carpet, blasting light out of her paintbrush. And this has been an ever evolving thing between workshops, between getting to know each other, weaving the web, and seeing the city unfold. You can go to the next slide. I found that it would be a really powerful thing to invite others, really in a format, to draw their vision, draw out their train car. And this is something I did with my friend's 4th grade class in Los Angeles to start out. Just drew this little template of a Sharpie, with a Sharpie on paper for the children to fill in. And this has now been photocopied many, many, many times. and we've collected thousands of train cars, and everyone is invited to share their vision, you know, in a train car. And, you know, you don't even have to know what it's going to be, but you have to start somewhere. You need to, you know, choose a color and just start coloring and ask to be led, to be guided, to be shown what wants to come through you. And this is a process that I feel through art and through the process of showing up, we will be able to reveal what needs to happen next for ourselves and maybe each other too. So you can go to the next slide, and this is us coming together with the children, and I've gone to many different schools to share this project with them. You can go to the next slide. And here's another painting of mine. This is titled Regenerating Heaven on Earth. And this is really where the train is coming, you know, from the stars, riding the tracks down through all of the evolution of humanity to this present moment where we find ourselves, you know, amidst the industrial, you know, the postmodern era, where we're here now wondering how do we find our way forward, and of course remember the treasures that have also been lost along the way. And we're finding ourselves in circle again. And if you come to the next slide, one of the things that we've been doing, you know, is like connecting our train cars and finding our way. And so the vision train became something that turned into a community international creative space station during the beginning of COVID on March 24th, 2020. You can go to the next slide. On March 24th, 2020, the Nonstop Vision Train Global Art Jam left the station as a 24/7 virtual collaborative art studio. Over 2,000 artists and participants have been on the train since its inception, and it is kept on the tracks by a core crew of engineers, conductors, and writers fueled by a passion for creative expression and collaboration. Big shout out to all of you out there that have been a part of this community. It's been absolutely magical. If you go to the next slide. And the mission here is to bring together a diverse global tribe of heart-centered artist activists and emerging entrepreneurs who are inspired to be of service to one another and the planet. On a decentral virtual platform, ideas, trade techniques, and leadership skills are exchanged in a collaborative, co-creative environment. Visionary projects that bring attention to environmental and sociocultural issues are integrated, amplified, and supported through the power of art, education, community, experimentation, and broadcasting. The Vision Train carries the seeds and tools to support a flourishing world that works 100% for all of life. So remember, you can jump on board anytime, come back, save the Zoom link, and you can go to the next slide. Join our 24/7 art jam on Zoom. And then you can go to the next slide. We also held programming that went for 8 months straight, 24/7. And now you'll find more of a renegade train at times, but it's almost always a good time and good to connect with community. You go to the next slide. And through these, we've had so many different amazing offerings. This is Earth Day 2 years ago in 2020, different trips, that have been regular reoccurring sessions, incredible gatherings, figure studies with Alicia, that's every Wednesday on the Vision Train. We've had some amazing virtual exhibitions that are also still online and available to see on our website. And the Design Science Studio has also been hanging with us for pretty much since the beginning. We've been weaving our tracks, and next slide. Of course, we're here in our little Zoom windows. We're like our little train cars, you know, just working our hands together. And these are some of the productions that have happened also on the train, the different salons with the Design Science Studio. And here we are on the great wave of transformation. Next slide. And this work is a painting that started right before the pandemic, as we felt this wave was really coming, and it did. Here we are, the trains surfing this wave, bringing us back on the tracks that took us to the end of the Western frontier. So we look forward to continuing to link our train cars together with you and with each other as we keep dancing along these tracks. And so next slide, you can always find us if you just plug in the Vision Train into a search engine and come get on board. Choo choo!
Choo choo! So really going simultaneously along with that track of when we started the Vision Train, within the same, about the same month that the Vision Train started, the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art synchronistically was forced to close. And this was a major turning point for this entire global community of artists. And what's the next place? You know, this place that had been a home base for so many people, and we had really like just started the Vision Train, and so we kind of started to see these links coming together, that the place that the Academy was not able to provide anymore, that was actually fairly prohibitive for many people who wanted to participate, was now actually opened up, and these lines of connection were allowed to happen virtually through the Vision Train, and the community all met online, and people that had never met each other in person now were connecting daily, supporting each other in their art journeys. And so we saw that there was an opportunity with the Academy being forced to close and the Vision Train opening up this space virtually. And so Amanda had a vision of a workshop fundraiser series for the Academy, and she asked me to help. We were already deep into the Vision Train collaboration, and it just was a sense of urgency that we both felt. And I really didn't realize that when I agreed that I was going to end up learning how to produce these classes by myself, because the directors of the Academy were focused on transitioning out of Vienna. And so I actually had the amazing opportunity to learn how to create all the graphics, how to set up the registration, and really hone in my communication with all of the students. And I loved it. And we were able to really help the Academy a lot through that change that the whole community went through. But most importantly, and most drastically for the directors, Lawrence Caruana and Florence Menard. That also then inspired Amanda to want to teach this, you know, these seminars online, because there was no place to meet in person anymore. And actually there was a seminar that wasn't able to happen the summer of 2020. So there was this incentive to create something that might stand in its place. So Amanda asked me to help her produce Transformation, online painting intensive. And we had Timea Italian, who was one of the instructors from the Vienna Academy, come, and Joe Bob Merritt, Amanda's partner. And we did this in collaboration with the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art from July 4th through August 1st. And then came back and did a whole other second series of workshops for raising funds for the Vienna Academy. So then had another whole, you know, round of learning. And then produced a second seminar online in 2020. We were really going for it. And so now we really had a lot of tools in our tool bag for how to move forward and create a school of our own. And that was a desire and a vision for us to now be able to really officially bring this incredible online, thriving, booming online global community that was just getting stronger and stronger by the day, to allow it to have some kind of scaffolding of transmitting this information into through a real academy. And so So meeting by meeting and idea by idea and dream by dream, Vitra Academy was born. And Vitra actually is a meme for Vision Train, Vitra. And I'll never forget when Amanda and I were on a walk and discovered the name Vitra, and there was something that felt really exciting about that for both of us. And we went home and searched the name, and were astounded when we discovered that the meaning of the word is to reveal knowledge and to and the way of the sage. So it feels very much in alignment with what we were trying to do anyways. And so Vitra Academy was born. And then I want to take you over, and hopefully this will work for us here.
Hi friend, Amanda here. If you're seeing this video, you've probably studied with me in the past at some point, or you may be interested in expanding your skill sets, upgrading your art skills, and have realized it's not always easy to achieve your aims in the art making process. You may have heard, I have an exciting announcement for you. It's called Vitra Academy, and I started this together with my friend Alicia Sacred Heart.
Hi friends, I'm Alicia Sacred Heart. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a beginner or a seasoned artist. As the co-director of Vitra Academy, I've been working closely with our instructors
Oh no.
to create a curriculum that's going to help take you to the next level.
Opening our first online term on Saturday, February 26th is The Thriving Artist, an art business development course with professional muralist Anya Amador. I wanted to empower you with the tools to meet your personal and financial goals before you even make a single drawing. Speaking of, the following Tuesday on March 1st, we begin
Apologies, guys.
It doesn't look
This
like
is-
we have the share optimized for video on.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Apologize. Well, you get the picture, and we also can move through the website. So at Vitra Academy, we champion the arts as sacred, relevant, and critical to our lives. We honor tradition while embracing creative innovation as vehicles for human evolution and global transformation. It is our mission to empower you with knowledge and confidence to explore your own unique vision. And we are working with an experienced faculty to create a unique program that will give you the tools to create the best work of your life in a supportive online community. So that tells you a little bit about the Vitra Academy and the Vision Train. And this is where you are, right? The Vision Train. And welcome. You know, we're already on the vehicle of transformation that takes us to Regenera. And it's not a physical location yet, but I think it's interesting that the Vision Train has not manifested in physical form yet, because you see from this already incredibly full day that we've had, that this is a place where people feel. When they come here, they feel and they hear and they see and do things with each other and other like-minded people who also support them. And that's something that we can deeply feel, right? Like you guys out there today, you feel that. And in an evolving world where it also often feels prohibitive to making radical systems change, many find the Vision Train and Design Science Studios as well a wealth of collaborative, supportive, like-minded revolutionaries and friends in both purpose and pleasure. You know, the vision, you know what the Vision Train is because you feel it. You feel something, you know? And in also in a world where so many of us carry the wound of being a starving artist, and this mentality where many are not creatively supported by their families and educational systems, and in a virtual world where people can hide behind profiles and avatars and are often exercise their frustrations. So many come here to be moved by the connection and camaraderie and community. They become inspired by that. So we acknowledge that it's a special feeling you get when you come into connection with others. And that's regenerative to our souls, which I believe are deeply longing for this connection and recognition of our creative purpose and devotion to the world around us. And that stirs a remembrance of something deep inside, doesn't it? We remember our creative brilliance that only we can bring. Something about that gives us more to carry back out into the world. So the vision train is a refueling station to take these thoughts and actions into ourselves and out into the rest of the world. There's a multidimensionality of the micro and macrocosms at play. Threads of reality being realized inside and outside of us, strengthening through the synergetics of each one of us showing up in love and curiosity and supportive creative play. You know, the Vision Train just celebrated its 2nd anniversary, and the 2nd anniversary is often considered the cotton anniversary. So I can't help but see the threads of each one of us, each with its own direction of movement in this interconnected dance. And in this moment, our threads are crossed right here, right now, to contribute our own colors and textures to the fabric of co-creating reality. And then I realize Regenera is a place which is alive in our hearts. The Vision Train isn't a physical space yet because it's a place within each of us that is being called to wake up and activate in unison. In you and I, son. You and I are forming the fabric of life, and the more intentionally we weave, the more we can remember and reactivate our loving existence, where we are painting reality together through teaching and learning from one another, becoming tighter and tighter in community and purpose and clear direction in world building. So if the future begins with an idea, then imagine the world we are building as we paint images of the world we wish to see into the landscape of where we weave in and out of one another. The world needs us to awaken to the divine creator that each of us are in order to build Regenera.
Just brought tears to my eyes so much and to my heart in the best way, Alicia. Thank you for your commitment and your dedication to this journey. You have been on this train more than I think anybody else the last 2 years, holding it down, always got a good set to play, and really showing up for the cause. Because I've known this since the beginning. This train is fueled by passion, you know. And through that, we are going to create lots of magic on this planet.
Yes.
Yay, Earth Day! Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for letting us take a little bit of extra time. And we want to invite you to come on camera. I know all you out there, you're smiling too. I want to see your faces. The leprechaun, I see you, Mark.
Yeah.
Wonderful to see you. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here, for being a part of this journey with us. And we're just getting started, always, right? But today especially, we have a really special artist, Della Burford, who actually I met here on the train quite a while ago. And I'm so happy to see that she's a part of the Design Science Studio in the 2nd cohort. And is Della here? Della and John? Well, I'm going to share a little bit about Della. She's an artist and author and storyteller. She has 8 books published. She is excited to share her art and story in a new way with alternative reality, in an auditory and visual journey on Topia and New Art City. And also in this festival with Julian Ramirez's short animation. She's thankful to be a part of the Design Science Studio and for collaborations. And she is available to do virtual programs with artists in British Columbia. And it's so lovely to see you here and to have continued to keep weaving, you know, on these tracks and to see your work flourish in collaboration with so many of the artists here in the studio. Welcome, Della, and welcome, John.
Amanda, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just thrilled to be on the Vision Train. I mean, I've said it before, but the Vision Train is the best in the world. I mean, how you could create something out of what was a traumatic experience for so many people and make it positive. You know, they had a place to go. The artists have a place to go. I mean, it's really cool. And it's so neat, you know, you and Alicia just jams. And I don't know whether you remember, but Amanda, but when a book was done of poetry and art long years ago, my poem was put with your art. And yeah, and it's been going on for quite a few years, that connection between, wow, it's just really cool. Anyways, I am thrilled today to present a little bit of a book called Earth Action, and John is here. Where is he? There he is, John. Hi, John. This would not happen today if it was not for John. I created a book called Earth Action in the Space Camp that goes with a book I wrote called Magical Earth Secrets. And it's about a little eagle child that lost his power because of pollution. And when I was working on that, I thought, geez, you should have an activity guide. But when COVID happened, so many people said, you've got to talk about the environment to people. So I wrote in the Space Camp, the Earth Action book. And Faith Flanagan had a tremendous amount in helping me do this book, which is a combination of the story of Magical Earth Secrets and Buckminster Fuller's inventions and Bucky activities that have got to do with art activism for anyone, children, young and old, and just doing many creative things to show your love for the earth. So it's really appropriate that John took on doing this for Earth Day. I couldn't believe it because it's just so nice to have someone that really appreciates the story of Earth Action. I'd like to have John speak for a moment before he shows his video.
Well, I just wanted to say it's been my great honor and pleasure to be able to work with the Design Science Studio and meet great artists like Della and experience the Vision Train, because I come from a very high-tech background. I come from a creative family, but lately my talents have all been used in high tech. And so this is refreshing to come to like-minded people and to encounter Della and this beautiful story, and the honor that she asked me to prepare her story. And so it's been a labor of love, and it's really beautiful. And I have a history with theater and teaching children, and hearing from Della how this story has gone around the world and educated children on how to truly love the earth and care for the earth. So I think the time has come that we should roll and
You ready
show.
for me to do it?
I think, John.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. So just a minute. Okay.
Do you want to do it?
And
I can give you the reins.
yeah, I think it's called up. So
I found it.
I'm
Okay.
not sure if that's your screen or mine. I'm new to this type of technology. I'm used to working in a different studio.
All good. Yeah, as long as you click optimize for video before clicking share, we'll be good to go.
Optimize for video clip, share sound. Yes. Okay.
And full screen. And take it away. Earth action. Show your love for the earth.
Earth Action. Show Your Love for the Earth by Della Verford. Dedication to Buckminster Fuller, who has been an inspiration to many. He believed we must have spontaneous cooperation without any damage to the environment and without disadvantage to anyone. For his imaginative inventions and respecting and using nature as an honored teacher, his work became for humanity when realizing he was part of the universe. May his works encourage others to make their work for humanity and all living things. We live on a spaceship. The trouble is, an operating manual didn't come with it. We are not going to be able to operate our Spaceship Earth successfully, nor for much longer, unless we see it as a whole spaceship and our fate as common. It has to be everybody or nobody. Children ought to understand the universe, and we teach them their ABCs. To honor Bucky, we have included 6 inventions and 6 activities in the Earth Action book. Once upon a time, there was an eagle child called Rainbow Wings. This eagle child was not an ordinary eagle, nor an ordinary child, but a mythical, imaginary creature that had an eagle's head, a child's feet and legs. We do not know if the eagle child was a boy or a girl. We just know that Rainbow Wings was part magical child and could talk. The eagle child was given the name Rainbow Wings because of its beautiful, bright-colored wings that shone with all the colors of the rainbow. Rainbow Wings lived in 2 places and had 2 families. Part of the time, Eagle Child lived in the mountains with eagle brothers and sisters. The rest of the time in the city with human brothers and sisters. One hot day in the city, Rainbow Wings felt thirsty, took a drink from the lake, but the water was not clean, and Rainbow Wings became dizzy and sick. The air was also dirty and polluted. Rainbow Wings cried, "I feel numb all over. My wings feel weak and my feathers are feeling stuck together." Rainbow Wings felt scared and sad. The beautiful colors were faded and gone. "I have lost my power to fly. How can I get my power and colors back?" Rainbow Wings knew of a place nearby with a wise one and decided to go for help. The wise one said, "To get your power and magic colors back, you must go and meet the little people of the 4 directions. You must go east, then go south, then west, then north. You will travel through 4 seasons. The little people have some secret words called magical earth secrets. That will give you strength again." Earthseed said, "Here's the secret words. I and the earth are one. I love the earth. I will take care of the earth." Eagle Child said, "The red on my wings is brighter and brighter." The season's wheel. The season wheel turns. Spring eggs become chicks. Summer flowers blossom. Fall leaves turn color and fall. In winter, the bear takes a rest and sleeps and dreams. A flower dies, but its seeds go back to the earth. Spring seeds can sprout again. The season wheel turns. What is the best time to rest? To start something new and flower. The waste not wheel. The energy to keep the waste not wheel turning over and over again is coming from the sun, water, wind. Conserve nature's gifts that provide us with energy to live the life we want to live. When we throw garbage away, we are throwing away valuable resources. Recycle, reduce, and upcycle. Conserve and compost. Let the waste not wheel turn. Why is recycling, reducing, and upcycling important? Art activity. Love the Earth mural. make magical earth secrets, art Love the Earth murals. Here are examples from the Wandering Spirit Survival School. Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller was an inventor, architect, mathematician, futurist, and author. He is best known for the geodesic dome. Bucky popularized the term Spaceship Earth to emphasize, like a spaceship, the Earth is traveling at enormous speeds, that we are all crew members on Spaceship Earth. We need to work together to take care of our small spaceship and protect our resources. Dymaxion House. Buckminster Fuller designed a round house which combined the words dynamic, maximum, and tension to arrive at Dymaxion. He saw shortcomings in the existing home building techniques and addressed them in his invention. They used resources inefficiently, and he intended them to be suitable to any environment. He came up with his inventions by looking at nature's designs. The geometric design was stronger than routine structures. He reduced water use and had an alternative shower called a fogger. They were easy to assemble, portable, and could be shipped easily. It used energy that was off the grid. This design had exciting new ideas. Your Dymaxion House. Design the interior of a Dymaxion house. House is a circular house designed by Bucky. Photo of something you love in nature. It might be a flower you love or your favorite animal. It can live on the ground, trees, water, mountains, or in the air. Look at the colors, shape, and textures of it and its surroundings. Use these colors, shapes, and textures in choosing furniture, flooring, colors, and accessories for your Dymaxion house. Draw the circular plan of your living room and or your bedroom as two circles. Place the furniture inside as shapes. Beside this, put photos of what you see from your windows, a mural, types of furniture, colors, and accessories. Sweetwater whispered the secret words, "I and the water are one. I love the water. I will take care of the water." The eagle child saw as well as red, beautiful orange color on its wings. Imagine the orange. The water cycle wheel. The water cycle turns. The sun heats the water. Some of the liquid gains enough energy to change into water vapor. The water vapor rises, cools, and becomes clouds. The water vapor in the clouds becomes liquid, sometimes freezes to become snow and hail. The sun heats the water wheel turns. Is the water and the air connected? The food chain wheel. The food chain wheel turns. The bald eagle eats salmon. The salmon eats herring. The herring eats zooplankton. The zooplankton eat phytoplankton. The sun's energy keeps the phytoplankton, the algae, green. The green algae absorbs and uses the sun's energy to make food. The sun brings forth a new day. The food wheel turns. How are we connected to each other? Why is the sun and water important to all living things? Activity. Water dance. Remember the water secret. Study the water cycle wheel. Sit in a circle. Feel yourself become a wave. With your hands moving, whoosh, in and out. Make the sound of the ocean. Feel the freedom of the moving water. Be the dolphin or a fish in the water. You can be sun rays, rainmakers, lakes, and snowflakes. Think of a water dance. Creative writing. Your food chain wheel. Sweetwater teaches us about the water and the food chain wheel. Draw your own version of the food chain wheel. What kind of pollution can harm it? Fly's Eye Dome. This dome structure was designed by Buckminster Fuller in 1965. He was designing with the idea of creating an affordable and portable home of the future. The name he has called it is the Fly's Eye Dome. It has a structure like the eye of a fly when looked at under magnification. It has openings in which solar panels could be used. Also, these openings could be a system for water collection. Bucky's Fly Eye Dome. This activity is to choose an animal or insect's eye and put the design on a sphere. You can also use an insect like the bee. Bucky really used nature as an inspiration for his designs. Draw the animal or insect that is the inspiration. Now draw how it would look on a sphere or a dome. Can your dome have solar panels or panels that catch water? For follow-up, You can make a spot dome with spots from an animal or butterfly on it. Sun Ray told his powerful secret words. I and the sun are one. I love the sun. The sun takes care of me. A bright yellow color grew on Eagle Child's wings. Imagine the yellow. The light wheel. The light wheel turns. Plants make their own food. The sun makes leaves green. Chlorophyll captures the sun's energy. Plants produce food for animals, birds, insects, and humans. Plants recycle oxygen. The sun shines, the light wheel turns. Music activity, color and sound. Sun Ray uses a bow to shoot and give colors to the flowers. There are many feelings of color with music. What colors do you feel when you listen to classical music, rock music, ethnic music? Without talking, draw the colors and shapes that you feel. Drama activity. Magical Earth costumes and play. Read the Magical Earth secret story and think of how you can put on a play or a skit. Think of one of the little people in the Magical Earth story. Do a costume for Earthseed, Sweetwater, Sun Ray, Loved Wind, Starbird, Crystal Wish, and the Eagle Child. Make many costumes, make masks, make hats, capes, or wands. Use your imagination. Make Eagle Child wings to fly. Put on a Magical Earth Secrets play. Have each class do a different chapter of the story. Make an animal dance with Earthseed, water dance with Sweetwater, fire dance with Sun Ray, wind dance with Love Wind, and star dance with Starbird. Magical Earth Secrets, Magical Rainbow in Japan. Story by Della Burford. This was produced by Kazuko, Asaba, and Ruru, who also designed the costumes. Dymaxion Car. Buckminster Fuller invented a car called the Dymaxion. It was a most unusual shape, and he told his daughter it could be called a Zoomer, as he really wanted it to be used on land, water, and even in the air. Copies were made of the ideas, but it was never produced on a large scale. It could steer in a tight circle, which caused a sensation. It showed up at the Chicago World's Fair in 1933 and 1934. Bucky really wanted to do more with less and designed it to use less gas. Today, I'm sure he would use solar energy and come up with some incredible car inventions using new ideas. Love Wind whispered, "Repeat my secret words. I and the air are one. I love the air. I will take care of the air." "My wings now have red, orange, yellow, and green," shouted the Eagle Child. "I know I can fly higher." The breathing wheel. The breathing wheel turns. The sun makes leaves green. Leaves breathe in carbon dioxide and replenish the oxygen in the atmosphere. Oxygen that all animals and all humans must have in order to breathe. Oxygen and food are energy. Our breath releases carbon dioxide, and leaves absorb the carbon dioxide in the day and oxygen at night. Daylight has come again. The birds sing. The sun makes the leaves green. The breathing wheel turns. Activity, wind dance. Love Wind blows a wind that lets us smell the perfume of the flowers. Remember the Love Wind secret. Feel yourself blowing in the wind. Feel yourself becoming a love wind. Think of someone who needs it and blow them love. Feel yourself a butterfly, a bird. Feel like the eagle receiving the colors. Think of a Love the Air dance. Biosphere, Montreal. The Biosphere, also known as the Montreal Biosphere, is a museum dedicated to the environment in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It is housed in the former United States Pavilion, constructed for Expo 67, located within the grounds of Parc Jean Drapeau on St. Helens Island. The museum's geodesic dome was designed by Buckminster Fuller. The structure was originally built for Expo 67, which officially opened on April 27, 1967. I went and saw the sphere at the expo and knew one day I wanted to meet Buckminster Fuller. Energy drawing dance. Buckminster Fuller promoted the use of wind power. How is sun and wind energy connected? When the sun hits the Earth's surface, the moving air is called wind. It is caused by the uneven heating of the Earth. Choose one of wind, solar, water, source of the moon, or geothermal, and draw individually how we get energy. Add your individual drawing to a mural and think how they all connect. For those creative in dance, do a storytelling with dance. Starbird said, "I and the stars are one. I love the stars. I will take care of the stars." Eagle Child knew it wanted to fly to space. After seeing the Starbird come out of the darkness and learning the secrets, the Eagle Child received the power to fly to space and got rich blue on its wings. The Starbird said, "The stars like it when good people make wishes for the good of all." The Energy Again Wheel. The Use Energy Again wheel turns. Renewable energy is renewable. It can be used again. Solar energy, water energy, geothermal energy, wind energy are all alternative energy sources. They can give us heat, light, and energy to cook meals. They are powerful and renewable. We must be in gratitude. Activity. Energy differences. We all have energy in our bodies. Dance slowly, showing how you feel when you do these 3 different things. When you eat something good, when you do something good for the environment, and when you think good thoughts rather than bad thoughts. It is important to put out good thoughts for yourself, other, nature, and all aspects of the earth. Activity. Body energy rainbows. Lie on a large piece of white paper, which is cut to the length of your body, and have someone else trace around you. Change the shape if you like. The first stage can be done with markers for more detail. Then you can use paint. Think of the elements of nature: sun, water, air, trees. Draw different things from nature in your body. Where in your body would you show the sun, the water, the wind, trees, flowers, and rainbow? Do you see a specific animal or bird? Fill your body with color. Show the energy around your body. What color? What pattern is it? Express your dreams and love for yourself and nature. Body energy rainbows. Della facilitated a project at Christie's Saint School, with the children making body energy rainbows of themselves. They also heard the story of magical earth secrets, and since the book was inspired from a dream, they made dream stories. Dymaxion Map. This map, designed by Buckminster Fuller, is a projection of the world map onto the surface of an icosahedron, which, when unfolded and flattened, becomes a 2-dimensional map of the world. With this map, Bucky made a point that we are like one large island with oceans around a total world. He developed a game called the World Peace Game in 1961 to create solutions to overpopulation and uneven distribution of global resources. He felt the world should work for 100% of humanity in the shortest time through cooperation without damage to nature or disadvantage of anyone, thus increasing the quality of life. A project called Genie has been done by a team of people and used this map to show the amount of energy used in different parts of the world and how much quantity of potential solar and wind energy is possible in various countries. This can be seen on graphs online at the Genie website.
It is my headquarters. So now you see all the world at once without any visible distortion of the relative shape, the relative size of any of the data. Now this is very convenient because also I've been able to do it in such a way what we call the sinuses, where it breaks open. All in the water, so there's no breaks in the continental contours which we have in all of our world.
When Eagle Child met Crystal Wish, a wish was made. I wish the trees to grow, the water to be clean, the air to be fresh, and all the people to love and take care of the earth. Because you have made such a powerful wish for the good of the earth, Crystal Wish exclaimed, I will give you the color purple to complete the full rainbow on your wings. Imagine the full rainbow. The change wheel. The change wheel turns. A spark of life. An egg is formed. A caterpillar is born who weaves a cocoon from which a butterfly emerge. This is transformation. A spark of life. An egg is formed. The change wheel turns once again. How do we see transformations in nature? There is nothing in the caterpillar that tells you it's going to be a butterfly. Activity. A nature wish bureau. Every person should make a beautiful star. Draw, paint, or do a foil collage. Have everyone think of a wish for the good of the earth. Put the wish for the earth in the star. Glue them all on a large mural and paint the background. Activity. Creative movements. Metamorphosis. Show metamorphosis through movement. Show the transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly. Show a tadpole growing into an adult frog, or an environmental villain growing to be an environmental hero, heroine, or helper. Gumdrop tetrahedron. Make an equilateral triangle with 9 small triangles with toothpicks and gumdrops. Build tetrahedrons on each triangle. Connect the apex point of each tetrahedron with each other to make 4 equilateral triangles. Connect the top with another tetrahedron to make a 3-frequency tetrahedron. A simple geosphere. Fold plates into 6 equal triangles, like 6 pizza slices. Unfold and connect the plates at the center to create 4 bow ties. Connect the opposite angle of the triangles to each other to create a sphere, with 6 square faces and 8 triangular faces. Eagle Child got a color from each person of the 4 directions. It now had the full rainbow. Those who learned the secrets did everything they could to help the earth. Everyone made a difference. All is one. Make an environmental picture book to show your love for the earth. Song for Eagle Child, Earth Seed, Sweet Water, Sun Ray, Lovebird, Starbird, and Crystal Wish. The season wheel connected to the waste knot wheel. The waste knot wheel connected to the food chain wheel. The food chain wheel connected to the water wheel. The water wheel connected to the light wheel. The light wheel connected to the breathing wheel. The breathing wheel connected to the energy again wheel. The energy again wheel connected to the change wheel. The change wheel connected to the season wheel. Oh dear Mother Earth, the earth, the earth. Mother dear Earth, the earth, the earth. Mother dear Earth, all wheels connected, all is one. Oh dear Mother Earth. Eagle Child hat. Wear the eagle hat to feel your power, to love and protect the earth. Color the colors you love. Enlarge or glue on heavier paper, attach to a band. Fly like the eagle. Become an Okay, Della and I agreed we would get to the wheels and return to the vision train. So you can see the vision that I've been immersed in for the last couple of weeks. And
wow, that's beautiful.
In the book, and that's it. But you kind of got into all of these, you know, totally amazing. Yeah, I was really impressed that you got absorbed so much, and even if there's one little thing in it that means something to somebody, it's an accomplishment for both of us. I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. Oh, we have like Alicia doing sound check in the other room. I just wanted to come up here with Bliss to just thank you and acknowledge the beautiful collaboration that you both have created.
Yeah, thank you.
yeah,
Really special
And-
for John.
Yeah, I think for me, it's been beautiful to watch you blossom in this program, Della. Yeah, I think that you you came here with all of your books that you've written, and you have just turned them into, these beautiful, digital worlds, and you've really taken to the program like so easily, and then helped, other people create worlds in the process. And it has just been a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. And I've been truly honored to be in a pod with you and getting to do all the exercises and stuff in the classes with you while we go through the program. It's been beautiful. And
Thank you, Bliss. I think without your support, and Roxy's, of course, support, and the people in the Design Science Studio, Nico and Faith, of course, and so many others, it wouldn't have been possible. You always feel the support around, and of course, living on an island, sometimes I feel really isolated, but I feel there's a family here, and people are there to sort of witness what you're doing, but also you could share with them a little bit about helping them do their visions too. So it's been very, very special for me. Thank you, Bliss, for being part of our pod. Our pod really helped. The pod was, we had our pod, we met once a week, even when I was in Mexico. Bliss and I were talking once a week in Mexico, and it meant a lot.
yeah, and John, that was, such a beautiful video to watch. I know that you've been pouring your heart and soul into it. And
I was really impressed.
I feel the best thing about the Design Science Studio is that you regularly challenge us to dream bigger, to go farther, to take it to the next extreme. And that's what I encountered when Della said, would you do this? I was going down a totally different path with my own project, and was like, yes, I can do this. And, it stretches you as an artist, it stretches you technically, and I'm amazed at what I can do for myself and for other people. And it's a beautiful image, it's a beautiful dream, and as I said, I'm honored to be part of it.
Thank you. Speaking of beautiful, we have a video from a very, very beautiful human coming up, and I'm going to let Roxy take the lead on this one.
Thank you, Bliss. And I just want to echo a lot of, acknowledgement and appreciation and admiration for both of you and your creativity and the way that you have shown up in collaboration and like radical imagination and collaboration with all of your fellow revolutionaries. Little glimmers of it have been shared here, but just to say that, like, Della, you did come in with physical books that had been turned previously into plays and into, immersive theater all around the world. And now they're digital 3-dimensional worlds and videos and in multiple types of platforms. And you really inspire me as an artist, and just to see how far you can push a medium. One of my, teachers in school, in my undergraduate Bachelor's of Fine Art program that I did, every time I would finish something, they'd be like, all right, now what? Like, turn it into something else. Like, how can you expand it? What else can you do with it? Like, just because you're done and the world is obsessed with completion and you want to keep going, how far can you take an idea? How many mediums can you push it? And what do they teach you? And I think that the way that you do that is really admirable. And it's just really cool. I think amazing to see it take so many new forms, because every time it has a new body, I think it's able to reach different kinds of people. And if we're trying to make a world that works for 100% of life, you got to reach all the different kinds of people. And, John, I know that your work working with the houseless and giving dignity to all people. And I see that you both carry like a deep thread of empathy that really spreads across all people, and helping tell stories and create spaces that create safety. So yeah, it's just a delight to see what you've created, and I'm excited for people to experience more of the work that you've created. And I'm gonna now introduce the poet Moni Shohadei, who is my mother. So thank you both so much. And really grateful that we got to see this incredible video that was co-created. And I think that Moni is not in the room in this moment, though I see her other daughter, Miriam, who's also on the team. But I will share this video, which is a very appropriate poem called Mother Earth, We Will Heal Your Wounds. It is definitely a family affair, as Mark says in the chat. One of my favorite things about just being a global citizen is, and being first generation from different countries. My mother's Colombian, my father's Iranian, is that I've been a part of many cultures that are intergenerational and very deeply connected across generations. And so it's been really beautiful to find others who also kind of move beyond the traditional kind of norms of how we interact with our elders or our younger generations, and actually just come together as family and play together and grow together, and never have that be something that's not like cool or fun. And I think that's one of the things we do very successfully in these communities, is that it's not ageist, and that it's truly inclusive. And I've had a really beautiful experience of getting to be in community with so many different kinds of people from all walks of life. And so much of my inspiration comes from this amazing woman. So we'll enjoy her poetry. And here we go.
Hello, I am very happy to see you here. My name is Moni Shohadai. I am a member of the Design Science Studio and participant of this amazing event, Design Science Salon. My project is poetry. It will be written in Spanish and English, and also it will have a component of vision through media and voice and music. The name of the project is Multiverse Poetry Journey. And as the name says, it is a journey tracing the path from today, when desperation is in the air, to the end of the decade, when everybody will be able to see the fruits of our regenerescence, our participation. I hope you enjoy it.
This poem is part of the collection Multiverse Poetry Journey, written by Moni Shohadai, member of Design Science Studio. All poems are available in Spanish as well as English. This poem is called Mother Earth, We Will Heal Your Wounds. Walking each morning on a pasture sprinkled with tiny drops of dawn, I could barely feel on my bare feet the beating of your heart. I look at a once upon a time blue sky, now darkened by smog, and I feel your pain. I ran and embraced a now dead tree on the backyard, same tree that witnessed our children's childhood. I could feel your tears falling on my face. I kissed your trunk with hope. I walked to the small creek that runs along our home, and I could feel running through my fingers tiny fish struggling to stay alive in a water today polluted by chemicals. I can feel your tears mixed with mine running down my face. I can feel our deep connection. You gave us birth, Mother Earth. Our umbilical cords are still connected. Please, don't lose hope. We, your children, are waking up from a dark dream. Don't lose hope. We love you. We always will. I placed my ears upon the ground. I closed my eyes and I could hear the cry of slaughtered whales and baby dolphins. Don't lose hope, Mother Earth. I can feel your pain. I am a mother too. Hear us out. We are united to heal your wounds, to see your smile again reflected on pristine and clear waters, on blue skies and living trees. Stay awake. Don't lose hope. We love you. We know of our mutual dream to see the smiles of many generations to come. We are your children. Mother Earth, we promise today we're united, and together we will heal your wounds. There's still time to get this done. Film editing, speaker John Ash. Film footage, Creative Commons, The Cosmonaut Collection, and Moni and Z's Film Archives. Written by Moni Shoadai. Music by Carlos Garcon. And spoken word by Kevin Slattery.
Well, wonderful. Moni's not here, but I feel her deeply. And, I actually, it's bringing tears to my eyes because Roxy asked me to take this outro, and Moni and I connected last year as parents. And it's given me a depth of perception of those participating, particularly of Roxy as well, and her sisters. So I'm ever grateful for that. And Moni also invited me to participate in her poetry project, Intopia, as well as many others. And it was a great collaboration, and there's wonderful poetry in there. And I'm sure you all get a chance to go witness more of her poetry. And thank you, Moni. So I'm going to now bring in another good friend. Claire, where are you? And who's helping me?
I'm around.
Here she is. Where are you? Hello. Pin you.
Hello.
Wait, where are you? There you are. There's so many lovely people here. Maybe somebody could help pin Claire here. There we go. Ta-da! There's Claire.
Here I am. I exist.
Yeah. So I'm going to once again introduce my dear friend Claire, who has helped us weave the Design Science Studio and the Global Regeneration Collab, GRC, through our activities of beaming together. And Claire will be sharing with you a bit of her work real quickly here because we've got so much else going on, but she's going to be present all week and she'll tell you about that. Claire is a mystical planet walker, a Samara, a pollinator, a connector of ideas and people. She has been a sound healer and an energy worker for much of her life and explores the realms of the numinous and the tangible through her work as an artist. She swims in liminal spatial realms, teaches and alchemizes consciousness. She understands energy from the human living systems perspective and feels the emotions of life and the elements. And all of this shows up as performances and dynamic emergence. And I can honestly attest for all of that. Welcome, Claire.
Thank you. Quick question. Can you tell me if the amount of time I have is reduced, just so I kind of orient towards that?
Yeah, Claire, you've got 10 to 15 minutes. You take your time,
Okay.
Go naturally, let it flow as you do.
Okay. Well, this is a treat. I'm really honored to be in such cosmologically and yet earth-centered company. So I appreciate you. I have so many things to share. So the first thing I'm going to do though is actually just give you a few minutes of singing. And to avoid feedback, I'm going to plug in here. If people could mute, that's actually going to help a lot with potential feedback. Thank you. So this is my instrument that I sing with. Okay. I am an artist that communicates. Oh, you're welcome, Agustin and Amanda, thank you. I'm an artist that communicates my experience of my ongoing conversation with the visceral, emotional, familial relationship that I have with Earth. It is home. And so everything I do is guided by that heart center and also by that sort of flesh and blood protectiveness and desire to like be super close. So I'm going to show you some photographs of the way I enter nature in terms of in that sort of wonderment, and then express that sort of sacred and yet, as I say, familial kind of tumbly relationship. It's not all like this kind of sacred, it's the sacredness of being absolutely real together. So bear with me. I'm a musician, a singer-songwriter, a recording artist, a sound healer, a painter, a writer, a listener, a thinker, a tactile connector. I'm going to share some pictures with you as one way to show you what delights me. I walk a lot. I have to walk every day, like breathing. I have to just really do it. And it's how I maintain my conversation. And so these are the kinds of places that I get to go local to me. This is in the San Francisco Bay Area. And my fascination at the moment has been of egrets, who you can see flying there. And what I noticed is detail. So just to be clear, some of these are deliberately out of focus because there's this question of touching in on the essence. And so I love detail, but I really love that kind of ambience, the ambience of connection. So here's detail. And then here's the same space, but looking at it from another dimensional connection perspective. I hope for you to notice some of the different kind of colors, and I'll show you where we're going with this shortly. But you see, here in the Bay, of course, like anywhere, we have rich colors, a diversity of colors and textures that happen at different times of day and evening. And one of the things you're going to see in a little bit is things like this really squishy, rich mud that the egrets forage in and sort of walk through. So there's this beautiful contrast between them and their environment because they're so delicate. And when I started painting the egrets, I noticed that ultimately I was painting the environment, and the egrets were kind of maybe my doorway of focus, but they stun me. Everything really about nature stuns me. The articulation, if you look at these wings, I'm suddenly reminded of the baleen of whales, you know, humpback whales, not the toothed whales, of course, but this beautiful edge and the ease, the grace with which they fly, and these lovely grey colours. And then some of what they have to deal with as they work for their food, and the ways that they integrate with a kind of a combined natural man-made environment. So for me, part of the essence of that is to then come into my paint studio and sink in, like literally sink in around my solar plexus and my heart. And with the same brush, I paint all these paintings over and over, which I'm going to come to in a short moment. But I really, really pay attention to what they're doing. And I just hang out. I just hang out as still as they are, watching and being with them. And noticing how they transcend, like how all form in a way transcends itself if you're paying attention, if you take the time, if one takes the time to blur the details of the edges into kind of a gestalt of environment and context, so that things kind of lose that distinction. But again, these colors, I mean, it's just, it strikes me every day, the beauty and the vastness. So part of the egret's environment, of course, is the water, the mud, their focus, their landscape, their community, their utter elegance. And these are the ways that I transmute my experience of them into visual art. So I use acrylic on watercolor, and these are actually called energy balls. And what I know that I am doing when I listen with paint and patience and connection is that I am painting that moment where the implicate becomes explicate. So the bohemian space of becoming. And to me, that's my focus in general, whether I'm doing music or painting or just even a conversation, to me is art. And so this, to be aware that there was not something apparent, but then it became. And in the witnessing of that, I get to be at that liminal moment where it becomes. And I see the feet, I see the beak, I see the sky and the water, I see the iridescence. And then I realized that I actually am painting the whole walk. Why not paint the walk itself? So this is the mud, this is the grass, dead and alive. This is the sky, this is the water, this is the decaying log. But it's still energy. It's still that extraordinary moment where something wasn't and then it was. It could just as easily have not, but it did. Just like us. That is so miraculous to me. And this is my next study. I haven't started painting these yet, but dandelions. The extraordinary detail that exists when you go really close just blows me away. When you hold your breath so that you can be still enough to take a photo that close, it's like just so exciting. All of that happening. So that is one of my modes, and here is some slightly different studies. I think this is Kingfisher, but at the moment it's just a study in blue. And even just deciding how to frame them it took me weeks, if not months, because it's like, well, I can't put them behind glass. They won't be able to breathe, and they're alive. I'm not going to museum them. And at the same time, I want them to be forwards. And so this was where I came to with that. And I'm really, really pleased. It feels right. And there are hundreds of these. I just have 3 of certain colors. And then there's the pink.
Claire, sorry to interrupt, but can you share with us your presence and what else you'll be doing throughout the week
Yeah.
so that we can follow you? Thank you.
Yes. Share my presence. Well, I think one of the things I'm going to be doing is a presentation on dynamic emergence, which is this exploration of energy becoming and how we are that energy as a human living system, and how we're affecting one another, affected by one another, how to be in conscious relationship to that. So I think for me, that feels like an important part of our evolutionary process, is becoming cognizant so we can actually have fun with it and be able to actually create the visions that we share. There's one other thing that I forgot to mention in the Rights of Nature initiative, which is that we're all familiar with the empath and being empathic. And I've created a whole series of just definitions for a new word, which is ecopath. So whilst being empathic, an ecopath is someone who does in fact feel the energies of the earth. So that's also part of my art, is to focus on words and bring that into conscious communication with one another, so that when something gets named in a way, that is a form of protection, because it makes it visible. I'm going to be doing sound healings. I'm actually not sure entirely when, but I think maybe around 12:30 on certain days. So if people keep an eye out on the calendar of events, you'll be able to see me. And I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything else.
We'll be beaming next Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, yes, Mark and we're doing a beaming together.
Yeah, we invite everybody to join us.
Please,
to
yes.
share your visions of the future and what we can bring forth. Claire, thank you so much.
You're really welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Claire. My name's Amanda, and I'm
Hi, Amanda.
so thrilled to be in your presence and to see your work and how all-encompassing it is. It's so grounding, and I can feel the childlike essence that you've carried through into being a grand matron and an elder that is here to remind us that the child is within us, within the wonder that we see in the natural world. And through art, you're really bringing that full circle. And with
Thank
those
you, Amanda.
spinning spirals of your experience, it is so inspiring. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I
It's
look
really
forward
nice to be
more.
seen.
And as a painter myself, I find a lot of joy in seeing your experience captured in those spinning seeds.
Yeah, it's precious. I mean, gosh, that whole little line where it wasn't and then it is, and it's bursting through, right? Becoming, and we are becoming, always.
We are.
Yeah, always new.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to your next, all you have to offer.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to see everyone's presentations. Really inspiring,
so
beautiful
inspiring.
quality, like seriously focused. I'm so touched and impressed and relieved that you all exist.
Right.
Yeah.
We're finding the others, it gives us fuel. And I'm so happy to be here too with our sister Marley. And I'm so honored to be the one introducing you today, because we even had a little glitch in the matrix of where I was like, oh, are we doing something together? And I look forward
yeah,
to
I was like, I wish we were.
Well, we are. Here we are.
Yes.
And especially with that sound, the multidisciplinary experience of what Claire had to share with us, I felt the grounding immediately through her song, and I thought of you, knowing that you were coming up next, and how that is one of your gifts, and bringing us into such a beautiful resonance. And I know that also you're a real community cultivator and collaborator and weaver, and you're an educator, and you inspire through healing sounds and visuals. Marley is an advocate for the voice of the earth and a multi-dimensional artist and dream weaver. She beckons forward your timeless soul song and summons the beauty ways so that we can all harmonize and play in co-creation. You are all invited to become a member of Gaia Temple, a church that Marley founded for visionaries and artists who are uniting to amplify the voice of the earth and contribute towards Civilization 2.0. Marley is also the creator and founder of Harmonize, where she teaches her students singing, science, and psychology to activate the voice and empower clear, authentic communication. Beautiful to hear the sound of the birds with you too. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. I'm calling in from Bali. I need to take a little break from the city myself to keep the human being alive. And so I'm just so grateful to be here with everybody in the Design Science Center cohort. And Claire, what a beauty to follow your presentation. I just really deeply appreciate how close you get to the earth. Like even your background, you're in it, and you're pulling it apart for those of us that have forgotten to look. And what I like to do is work with people like you who are in it and pull it out and pull their vision all the way up and amplify it, bridging worlds across the digital sphere, because some of us are really passionate about just being right here in it, and some of us are really passionate about reaching it and expanding it. And that's really where my gifts shine as an artist. That's how I speak, that's how I intuit. And then as an entrepreneur and a world builder, I love bringing people together and gridding it and making it applicable to the digital world that is emerging. Because at this point, as much as a lot of us would like to go completely back to our indigenous pathways of working with the land and being of the earth, we are accelerating in the digital realms as well. So that is what today is all about. I'm going to introduce you to Gaia Temple. I'm going to introduce you to Harmonize. I'm going to show you one of the projects that we're working on and invite every single person here to come play along and be a part of it. So thank you, thank you. And I'm also going to start with a song. So being here in Indonesia, in Ubud, Bali, one of my favorite things to do when I travel and pollinate, like those daffodil seeds that you showed, is to listen to the earth, because she too has a voice just like us humans. And it really requires a cultivation of listening and slowing down to be able to tune into that. So to start us off, I'll bring us into the voice of Bali as she's moving through me. Let's see. I invite you to close your eyes and to take in the sound of all these birds behind me and the wind in the trees and maybe any other scooters or dogs or people that might come into the field. This is all a part of the harmony and the melody of this point on the grid. Thank you so much for sharing in that moment with me. I just arrived here, so I'm still being acquainted to the beauty that is Bali. Wow. So, Gaia Temple. I'm going to take you into a little presentation that I made here. And let's see, what is Gaia Temple? Okay. So, Gaia Temple. Today what we're going to be talking about is upcoming presentations that are all about amplifying the voice of the earth. And how I'm doing that is through Gaia Temple, a 508c1a, an international artist collective that you're all invited to, as well as Harmonize. Harmonize is a vocal empowerment vision amplifier for those who are working on Civilization 2.0 and really all of the ethos and values that we see represented in Regenera, in this Regenera Rising Conference. So, Gaia Temple itself. Gaia Temple is about inspiring regeneration and harmony through visionary art, music, and land activation and conservation. And really understanding that just like the mycelial network, we need to work together. We need to work in symbiosis, harmony, freedom, and abundance to really understand what is the templating of this new world that's coming through. Because it's easy for us to think that our minds and personal life experience has all the answers. And while those are key to really honor our mind and the cultivated knowledge and wisdom that we've gained, it's also important for us to feel our feet on the ground and to feel ourselves as conduits of the energy of the earth itself, and to be enactors and stewards of the message of the vision of the earth. A really good example of this is if you are part of a community development project right now. We are experiencing what could be another huge wave of colonization as many people are leaving Western society and going into areas like Costa Rica, here on Bali, Mexico, and disrupting indigenous long-standing heritages of culture. And so how are we really listening? Not just listening to the people who are already there, but actually listening to the earth, because those people have had the ways of listening to the earth, and it's up to us to connect and attune to that and to learn how to speak the language of Gaia. So a couple of things that we can do to help people understand this, because it's a pretty far out abstract concept. What do you mean the earth talks? I feel like a lot of us here understand that concept and we really know what that means. We have a practice of expanding our imagination and our creativity. And through expanded imagination and creativity, that's whenever you can really begin to tune into magic and tune into all sentient life and the equality of all sentient life, including the trees and the water, the whispers found in the wind. So artists have traditionally, historically been the people who have led evolutions, revolutions through meaningful art, music, symbolism, and dance. It is a way that we carry codes and we transfer information to one another. This gets to be very subtle and dynamic, or it gets to be loud and obvious like a billboard. And so every single person has their unique style, whether that's pop art or symbolic, ethereal dance and singing. And each one can represent the voice of the earth in a way that's unique, so that other people who maybe don't have the same skills or desire to listen to the earth and what she's saying can still receive a direct transmission from Gaia, therefore also receiving the direct medicine that the earth has to offer us, even whenever we've forgotten how important it is to be putting our bare feet on the ground. So Gaia Temple is all about creating incubation, bringing people together. Our most recent activation was at the Capitol in Austin, Texas. Amanda Sage and the Vision Train actually hosted part of the digital aspect of that. We had Unleash, we had a dance party on the front steps of the Capitol building. We worked with Unify, and we had opera singers and a string quartet inside of the Capitol for an activation meditation on 2/22. And the visionary speakers like Laura Dawn and Garen Jones speaking towards our human potential and capacity and the back part of the rotunda. And this day-long event was one of Gaia Temple's initiatives to really unite visionaries, trailblazers, and artists to raise an awareness of what are we really capable of humans, and how can we begin to normalize a multi-dimensional perspective so that we can really have love on every single frequency, every single world, that whatever it is that we're operating in, we can still come together and see one another. And so that was a really fun project. Ideally, this is a lifelong initiative, should it be. It's something that I caught the kite string of and I'm just listening to. It's been really fun, and it's constantly telling me where to go. But the more people that come in, the more people that become stewards of the ship, a lot like Regenera Rising. And so ideally, as we continue to create initiatives, art projects, events, NFTs is kind of where my curiosity is leading me right now. It's really fun. Portion of all of those profits are going to go into funding art initiatives for community development, as well as long-term goal, raising money to actually purchase land to have a Gaia Temple community. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes work in that. If you go to the website, GaiaTemple.org, you can get a deeper feel for the roots and the larger vision. And so this week, there are going to be 3 talks that I'll be moderating, 2 panels, and then I'll be hosting 1 workshop of my own. And these are things that you don't want to miss out on. Like, I'm geeking out hardcore for a good reason. The first one is, this one's for the trees. This is a panel where I'm bringing together Virginia Castillo, the founder of Humans I Trust and the 2 Billion Tree Initiative. She's very ambitious and very powerful, this woman. And then Sky Roberts, who has just thrown his entire being the past 2 years into creating feature film documentary called the Train Maya that is all about illuminating the high-speed train that is called one of the world's most ambitious projects of progress today. And the second half of this train, which hasn't been built yet, is going to be dissecting central Mexico's largest rainforest, not only expediting the dissemination of the land and all of the animals and the biosphere of it to just 50 years' time, but also greatly disrupting the indigenous Mayan cultures and peoples that live within that as the land stewards and as wisdom holders. So the fire in me and the fire in him and his team to get this movie out is huge, because we still have time to amplify what's happening so that the second portion of the train can be redirected and moved around that rainforest to cause less disruption. The second panel is going to be Secret Language of Gaia, where I'm pulling forward artists who are actually in this cohort who are massive standouts, such as we have Veronica, we have Harris, we have Neha, and then I'm also bringing in a couple of outsiders, Clara Zahorsky and Jade Fusco. They are all incredible artists who are used to attuning and listening to the voice of the earth and then bringing it about in their unique artisan ways. And so in this, you're going to learn a little bit about who they are, how they cultivated those skills of listening and communicating with the work to the earth, and how it looks to be in co-creation with Gaia, to bring out something as though you're working with another person, but you're actually working with the energy of the planet in which we reside. And then the last one is activating your voice and vision. This is one of my other personal babies, Harmonize. I always say I have twins. I have Gaia Temple and I have Harmonize. And Harmonize is a powerful voice activation modality that blends my 10 years in corporate business building and scaling and all the communication training and structures in that process with my spiritual journey of traveling to India to learn the ragas, the energy movement and the temple singing in India. And this has been a powerful practice. I've traveled around the world teaching all sorts of demographics, ages, everything, teaching them this modality. And because I so believe in the effectiveness of it, I'm now creating a teacher training program so that this can be scaled as well. And these two really go hand in hand. So this is what you don't want to miss out on. They're going to be from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm pretty sure, double check the schedule, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then just my last call to action is, come play. Come play. If there's something that you see here that you like, contribute, come weave. That's what this is all about. And so just to close it in, I'll share with you one other digital aspect, because while we love doing on-the-ground in-person events, one collaborative project that we have open and available for playing with right now is actually up in our digital sphere. So you can go in and experience through the Design Science Studio the actual VR experience. And this one is where Gaia Temple all began, was actually a church that I discovered in Hawaii, and for a year in the thick of quarantine made a community arts center from. And so I'll just take you in for a moment, and if you are a designer, an editor, a music producer, somebody that sees something here and wants to contribute, send me an email, hello@gaiatemple.org, and let's play. So I'll end it with this video clip. And this is a work in progress, so thank you for being kind, because every artist knows sharing your work in progress is somewhat of a vulnerable thing to do. Oh, and you know what? Also, let me think something just happened.
It's only sharing the audio, but we can't see the video. There we go.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, so this is this historical chapel in Hawaii, and I shared this for our last conference, but this was the first chapel built in the Big Island where two different races came together, the Japanese and the Filipino, under one house to share a spiritual passion. And what I love about that is that's what I feel like we're doing today, is we're bringing the earth stewards in with the digital techies, and we're taking one passion, which is a passion of regeneration, community, and culture that considers all sentient life, and we're merging those two worlds. So you can see here, just letting people in. And in this video, it's interactive. I'm guiding you through pretty much what I've just shared here, but in a very poetic way, and then in a voice activation. And I sing. So this is what this is if you'd like to go play with the whole project. It's super fun to actually be back in the chapel, to look up, to see the beautiful architecture, the broken windows. This was a passion project for sure. So thank you everybody so much for sharing today. Thank you for sharing your hearts. Thank you for sharing your presence and your time. Once again, my name is Marley Benedicto. If you want to know more about Gaia Temple, go to GaiaTemple.org. You can become a member there. It's free. I want to know all about you. There's a really fun questionnaire. And if you want to know more about voice activation and harmonized, you can go to my website, marleybenedicto.com, and everything's on there. And I hope to see you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Marley. We have journeyed far together through this time in our lives as friends. And it's an honor to get to be in creative community with you, sharing a similar vision that's expressing itself, and having had you in the Design Science Studio as a comrade on this decade-long, lifelong mission. I have always been so deeply inspired by you and your work, and thank you for being a bridge and for bringing us to the heart. I feel like I'm in the cradle of the mother with you in Bali right now. I know your day is just rising as well.
It sure is. Yeah, what a journey we've been on from Los Angeles to now. I really so appreciate your presence in my life and all the inspiration it's clearly helped bring in. Thank you.
You too. I'm so passionate about all of these initiatives, and I'm really excited for all the people whose lives that they will touch, and for all of the sessions that you're weaving. And I look forward to being with you in the heart of the Gaia Temple, in the physical reality, and the voice activation work that you do and the empowerment that it gives. I think I've been feeling like a little bit emotional the last few minutes, just thinking about the courage that it takes to bring forward our visions and our dreams, and how much easier and lighter it feels because we get to do it together. And I just really want to honor how many people that you have supported to help strengthen their voice and their vision, and to reconnect to that which is innate in them. So thank you, Marley, so much. And it's only the beginning, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to weave. And thank you for being such an incredible member of this community. Deeply honored to be in Regenerative Futures community with you. And
same. I'm so excited. Thank you, Roxy.
Thank you. Amazing. Yay, what a day. I'm going to take a sip of water because water is life. So, hi friends in the room, and hi friends on the internet. My name is Roxy Shohadai. I am the director and architect of the Design Science Studio, and I am one of the 4 founders of the Design Science Studio. It's a really beautiful moment in life to sit here today at the end of the second day of the 11-day summit, the second one that has ever existed, that exists because of a collective and shared vision, and definitely very personal, very, very personal to me as an artist, a regenerative artist, and a creative doula, and an experiential and ontological designer who has been an activist my whole life, and doing a lot of large-scale immersive work, and looking at how do we create places and spaces that help people learn and move and feel together towards a world that can work for all. And the Design Science Studio, after 2 years, is in this form, and I am just so moved at how many people have been able to come together around this shared mission and vision. And I'm here to share with you all a little bit about
where we're at and who we are, and a really exciting campaign that we're launching. And I'm going to start with a video that we haven't shared yet. So this is the first time it will be shared. And it is a video of the voices of the Design Science Studio answering the question, what would a world that works for 100% of life feel like?
Greetings.
What does it feel like to live in a world that works for 100% of life?
I would describe it with one word: reciprocity.
I live in a world that is guided by the principle of love.
In a world that works for 100% of all life, I feel connected to everyone and everything.
I see beautiful collaboration between nature and humans.
I see life inspiring more of life.
I see a world that is open to our body and to our senses.
A world that works for all is powered by diversity.
There is community in diversity.
I feel a collective belonging where everyone celebrates how amazing planet Earth and the universe is.
It would feel like compassionate, inclusive, safe for all beings that dwell here.
Rather than being all on our own and disintegrated and dismembered, everyone is allowed to find their place in the greater web of life.
And how will this happen? We're going to start to understand more about design science, how systems interconnect and evolve and change over time.
We would use models of living, and we would grow the worlds and environments around us.
All human beings accepting themselves for who they are.
In our world, I envision all living systems projecting poetry, while life itself is in the making.
Creativity is our birthright, not just some people, everybody.
Imagination, inspiration, science, art, and nature drive regenerative solutions that help us explore our full potential as responsible stewards and crew of Spaceship Earth.
We are free to express ourselves creatively without any fear of retribution.
It would feel peaceful. It would feel joy. It would feel unjudged.
I can feel the sense of belonging wherever I go, whatever I touch. What I touch touches me as well.
I feel vitality, aliveness, joy, and gratitude.
I think it would feel like fun.
This is all dynamic. And so not just our structures, as Bucky said, the physical structures, not just those, but everything that we do is interconnected and transforming constantly.
I envision a world of shared authority and communal decision-making through diverse modes of communication.
Everyone is doing their part, playing their perfect part in the whole for the betterment of all beings. I see people everywhere pursuing their passions and benefiting the whole.
And this is how it feels to be one with all.
Art, science, consciousness, and togetherness. That's all we view together in Design Science Studio.
We have learned how to live in balance, to give more than we take, and we have designed systems that allow us to live in harmony with the planet and one another to support our collective thrival.
We're here, sensing what it would be like to live in a world that works for 100% life.
From my heart, I bear witness to the energy, the regenerative energy that envelops me, that envelops we as we spend less time in advocacy for things that we want to change and more time in beaming the truth, full truth of our being. Ashe.
Welcome to your future.
Yay. Oh, it feels so good to debut that beautiful video. So much gratitude. So much gratitude to Speaker John Ash for helping edit it, and to all of the voices of the Design Science Studio who are in it. I agree, Claire said in the chat that it's incredibly heart-touching. I am so moved by this community and all of the people in this video, and so many who are not present, who are also visionaries, who are courageously bringing forth their visions of how we can, I get emotional, collectively work together to make the world work for 100% of life, and to direct our creative energy and to collaborate to make this possible, and to shift the way that we value this planet and each other towards a world that incentivizes well-being over money and profit and extraction, and moving to a world of collaboration and support and mutual co-evolving regenerative energy to really live in a world that is possible, where we can have a life-affirming reality for everyone, and at the expense of none. And so I'm here, and I'm going to share about the Design Science Studio and who we are and why we're here and what we believe in, because we've just experienced it. This is a place for creatives to come together, thought leaders, initiatives, organizations, and to help amplify and support the voice of that life-affirming future that works for all. So we've created a space for that as educational incubator for the art of the Regenaissance. And the Design Science Studio was created to empower these global creators to support a space, a safe space to come together, to imagine this regenerative future, to ignite and catalyze inspiration and conversation and action, to lead to this transition to a world that works for 100% of life. And it is truly been told through the sands of time that social and systemic change can start with a story, and stories help us imagine our way out of our current future, but also to recontextualize the reality that we're in. Our narratives help us see ourselves. Art helps us to not only potentially answer questions, but also to ask them, to reassess the way that we relate with this world and with each other, and to come into contact in a different way. And we see the power of that and the power of culture and change makers. Marley just said it more beautifully than I can right now. And Amanda and Alicia were just saying it as well. And, all of the different voices and approaches, and, the unique perspective that helps to not only encourage this reality, but to help support making the invisible visible, is what these stories and these new narratives for cultural change can support. And so what we do is we come together and we have this collective aim to create behavioral shift through culture, because we can create cultural and systemic change through story, through art, through design, through shared experience, because we are the seeds of a revolution, and we are reimagining life on our planet, and we're making a stand for it every single day. And it's a beautiful opportunity to come together and celebrate. And, this is actually the first time we're sharing some of these ripples kind of in a presentation format. We do a recap at the end of each year, and it's interesting to look at. We've been able to directly award $30,000 to artists. We've given $114,000 in scholarships. We've somehow managed to host 53 public events, which is crazy. They're intense. Here we are. We have 17 partnerships, and those are long-term partnerships. We've had other shorter-term partnerships that have also come through. We have 33 visionary educators that have come through the program to help teach about traditional ecological knowledge and indigenous wisdom and futurism and world building and planetary challenges and opportunities and solutions and creative applications and strategies, and so many incredible topics that will cover one of the days of this amazing summit. do a little educational recap, but you're all living and touching and breathing it. And hundreds of projects have literally been launched into the world, which is totally insane, with a very tiny team, as you can see. But we are supported by an incredible community of artists, of partners, of co-conspirators and collaborators who see that there is shared value in what we can co-create, and that there is so much need for this communal reciprocity. And so we've boldly moved towards this vision, and we are feeling the ripples now. Whenever we add everything up, somehow there's a reach of over 2 million people collectively with the artists in the studio. We've had over 25,000 people come through our events. 288 creators have been supported through this program. And the program was created to literally build capacity of the system. My background as an artist, doing large-scale bioregional events and semi-permanent and permanent experiences, studying regenerative design, really realized that like the most empowering thing that we can do in any system is to build the capacity of the system. And so myself with other like-minded, incredible visionaries came together, and we looked at how might we build a system that can support hundreds of artists around the world and systems thinkers and change makers to feel empowered and emboldened and to get their work into the world. And so some of these quotes are from some of those amazing artists who you've heard from even today. Stephanie said that this program gave her hope and opened her heart, and knowing that creativity is growing in the world for good, we're part of a wave of bringing it in. It's a group of some of the most creative, beautiful, generous, talented beings who feels, and she feels so blessed to be a part of it as an artist and a human. Hopefully you caught Stephanie earlier this Earth Day. Umair, who's an amazing architect and artist and biophilic designer, said it has emerged for and by the architects of the future, singular, most profound turning point in his career. Because of the studio, he published an incredible book called Tree Tech, and it was 50 lessons from the trees. Helena Sheridan, who's from South Africa, who created an amazing project, a community center and food sovereignty space that is upcycling plastics and creating them, taking them from trash to treasure, and creating, resource. It's called Film Plastic. An ideas incubator, a connector of the dots, a synchronicity machine, a weaver of worlds, all with the best intentions for everyone. Gina Bria, who has an amazing water museum, said the time at the Design Science Studio will make you a bigger person with a wider reach. And this is all such like humbling, there's such humbling things to receive, because taking a vision and saying my vision is to amplify and support so many other people so that we can collectively move towards this and empower the diversity and resilience of many different approaches, walks of life, mediums, and voices in order to get there. And so in order to really support making this happen, we are establishing both partnerships with institutions, funds, and individuals who are committed to transferring wealth towards the regeneration of our planet. And one of our visionaries who came, her name is Lynn Twist. She taught about, moving from scarcity to sufficiency, not abundance, but sufficiency, and how helped me also personally reframe around value. And this is all just at looking at how we might exchange value. And we're honored to be stewards of the visions of our revolutionary creators. And we really have, I am personally standing here to step forward to try to courageously move into a space that I am not as comfortable, which is asking to open up the support structure and the stewardship of the space, and inviting others to help support it financially. And so I've just put in the chat our donation portal that we've just opened to do a modest fundraiser that will be incredibly impactful to support our team, which we're going to be running over the course of the launch. And there's many things that this money will do. A patron of the studio and of the arts means that we can grant more scholarships to the artists who otherwise could not participate in the program. We do everything we can to literally accept as many people as possible. 1/3 of both of our cohorts identified as members of a marginalized community, and we really, really try our best to create spaces that are equitable for everyone. And we really want to create create an incredible experience for these artists to be able to support them and to support our collective vision in the best way that we can. And only $1,500 funds an artist to complete the program. I will say that I personally have worked on the side like crazy to support the Design Science Studio as much as I can. And there's only so much that I can do. And with so much generous support from our team and a few key supporters along the way, like Mansour Vakili, who supported $30,000 or $60,000 program last year, which granted $30,000 to some artists, was one of the only other real funders that we've had. And so really trying to create more spaces to open up and invite others to support, because we want to do more and there's only so much we can do on our own. And so we want to create a really strong and robust program for the creators every year. And it's already working and we know that we can do more. And so over the summer, we want to support the team to be able to go ahead and, take all the things that we've learned and continue to grow and expand the program to be able to change culture and mentor and support these artists and create more immersive experiential events that help to awaken our hearts and minds to a world that's possible and make this accessible to more, and to support our team who otherwise over the summer would have to thin down pretty dramatically until the next cohort. And we have some really exciting initiatives that we really want to keep moving towards. And so we are inviting others to support. And so with these initiatives, obviously Regenera is one of them in this story universe that the world is invited to plug into. We're taking the hundreds and hundreds of hours of our content, and we're going to build a living library to make it accessible. So those 33 visionaries, I think there's actually more than 70 sessions from these visionaries. And so editing those down, creating evergreen content, making these sessions accessible to more people, it takes time, and we're really, really passionate about getting that work out there and creating collective artifacts, not just with the studio members, but with the rest of the community. And so inviting you all to support in that process, the Green Book being one of those main projects. So here is the campaign. It's fresh and shiny, and our first stretch goal is $60,000. I put the link in the chat. There's beautiful Marley who just spoke. This beautiful video actually was put together, or an invitation from another of the Design Science Studio artists, Liv Scott, who said, I want to create something that answers the question, why? Why does the Design Science Studio matter? We're not going to watch it right now because it's kind of long, and that's beautiful. But I will say that it's gorgeous, and we can watch another day because we're going to do our best to courageously come forward and invite a value exchange and have others to come and support what we're up to. So I want to invite everyone here to support the campaign if you can, and to support in any way that you can. And now I'm going to hand it over to Nico to share a little bit more about one of our initiatives, which is the Green Book.
Thank you, Roxy. If you want to mute in there. Cool. And I'll share my screen if you don't mind. Awesome. Regenera. All right. So, in the early days of Regenera, when we were forming the city, we created councils. And the councils will help us ideate the kind of society we wanted. There was the archetypes and the councils. And these guilds and the revolutionaries who joined them were fundamental to conceptualize and create practical, actionable guides on how to regenerate our planet. It was during those days that we realized that it was on us to create the reality we wanted, that we had every tool imaginable to make it happen, and that we were the ones we had been waiting for. Probably you've come to the same realization these past few days. And so we took action, and we gathered, and we discussed, and we schemed, and we thought things. And then we thought about them again and again, and we poke holes and we prototype, because, that's what we do. We wanted to make sure that what we created had the highest possible opportunity of success. So we try to think about actualizing potential for each part of the ecosystem that we experience as broken. We created new governance systems, we redefined education, we analyzed governments over the past 100 years and tried to see what worked and what didn't. And we proposed ideas for new food systems, new social systems, new ways to organize cities, neighborhoods, people. We compiled practical manuals on how to do permaculture, how to talk to nature, how to relate to others, how to heal generational trauma, how to create better, and how to be happier. And what came out of that, we called the Green Book, a practical guide on how to regenerate the planet, a manual of sorts, a series of articles, ideas, aphorisms, and illustrations to do better. It was co-created by thousands of our citizens, and it changed our society in ways we didn't even expect. Up to this day, still our guiding beacon. It's in the library of Regenera. We decided to dock Regenera on Earth for a decade because we heard your call. We were here and we were where you are and made it through. We firmly believe you can make it too, but great changes will be necessary. You're here to share what we learn, but we also acknowledge that a cookie cutter approach wouldn't serve. You need to create your own Green Book. The cooperative aspect of its inception was key to making all the citizens of Regenera stakeholders of that vision. So even though we are here to guide you, you'll need to make your own. We invite you to join this process with passion and commitment. It's time, and it's only possible because you are here. So this is our invitation. If you had one page, if you had one page to transmit one idea, sometimes I ask people this question. It's like, if there was a sign in the sky that was seen by everybody at all times from any part of Earth, what will you write on it? What is that one thing that you read, that quote, that idea, that concept that changed your life, that then you applied to everything else you did? What is your trim tab? So the book is going to be composed of ideas, aphorisms. An aphorism is a simple idea that contains a lot of knowledge. Guides, quotes, simple things that can just fit in one page, and they'll be accompanied by illustrations. We're also going to get in there some words. We read a few this morning and this afternoon, some new words for a new world. And eventually also links and resources in the cooperative manual of Spaceship Earth, but that's a different thing. For now, just stick to this. One page, one idea. What would it be? For example, trim tab. This idea of a trim tab, this is something that Buckminster Fuller brought about. He said, everybody should be a trim tab. A trim tab is the smallest part on both a plane and a ship that changes the course of the entire vessel. So it's the smallest part of the system that has the greatest impact. And honestly, I think about this every day of my life. Every day of my life, I wake up and think, how can I be a trim tab? And just this concept has just changed drastically how I approach my work. Or imagine an illustration like this that explains what regenerative means. To me, regenerative means giving more than you take. But it's also a non-zero-sum game. It's holistic, it's positive feedback, is understanding that humans are part of nature, is thinking about living systems, is moving from me to we, just one page. And suddenly you create a whole system of thought. By the way, all of these illustrations are made by our dear Amanda Joy. This concept, the generous economy, moving from me to we, from ownership to the access and sharing economy, from product-oriented to service and caring economy, from shareholder to stakeholder. Or this, I love this. I've shared this with friends over and over again. The single biggest thing I learned was from an indigenous elder of Cherokee descent, Stan Rushworth, who reminded me of the difference between a Western settler mindset of I have rights and an indigenous mindset, I have obligations. Instead of thinking that I am born with rights, I choose to think that I am born with obligations to serve past, present, and future generations and the planet herself. So now is your turn. I'm gonna post the link in a second. You can send whatever you want, just make it short. It needs to fit in one page. It needs to be a powerful idea. You can submit as many as you want. We will make the illustrations. If you're an illustrator and want to help, let us know. You can contribute. But what will come out is after these 11 days of a festival, with all the ideas that you submit, we're going to make a selection and we're going to start compiling them in the Earth Green Book. And hopefully we'll make something that will be useful, that will be a counterculture manual to regenerate our planet. That will be a guideline. That will be some clues that eventually, who knows, maybe they will be taught at schools. Maybe everybody will download this and say like, hey, this is how we do things. So that's our invitation. I'm going to read a quote from one of the elders of Regenera. He said, the Green Book was a bag of seeds. Once we put the ideas that it contained out there, it spread like wildfire. Somebody was calling me out today for this wildfire, saying like, maybe they didn't know better. Maybe it spread like mycelia under the earth.
I actually said ground cover, but it is mycelia. And now think about fascia. We really are the fascia. Okay, so I'll talk about that after, because we're going to do some wisdoms and we're going to talk about fascia and electromagnetic fields. Anybody who wants to talk about Nikolai, you know who you are. Let us meet at, we'll call it round tables or wisdoms, because we have plenty that we need to weave together so we could put it back into the system from the source code. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. So it spread like mycelia. It was simple enough, powerful enough, logical enough. And nothing was the same once we compiled this little big book of ideas. It became a manual to follow. It changed everything. So hopefully our Earth Green Book will change everything. And so that's our invitation to you. We'll put the link in there. Submit your ideas and we'll see it. We'll see them published one day. Thank you.
Yeah. Yay. Courageous visionary stewards. I love the stewards. I feel like we can almost touch Nico. I don't know which side it's on for you, but what a beautiful day. We have the opportunity now to kick off a celebration. Earth Day celebration. And we are joined by some incredible musicians and also by the spirit and presence of Gaia herself. So we want to really invite you all to enjoy and revel in the hours that lie ahead. Invite your favorite people, your favorite Earth regenerators, give them the link, tell them you deserve to come and get down for the next few hours and celebrate all of the care and love that you bring to this planet. And to kick us off before we close the stream part, and you know, if you're out there in the stream, we definitely invite you to come on in. But we're going to do a little ritual that we do every week that we meet in the Design Science Studio, which is that we dance together. And the song that we will dance together to is a song by one of the artists of the Design Science Studio, Wahinia. Wahinia is a composer, a poet, and a record producer from Nairobi, Kenya. His music narrates tales rarely spoken that transcend one into a world of insight and serenity. And the song that we are going to listen to from Wahinia is called Voices from the Wind. So we're going to invite you to come on camera and get in your body and dance with us and enjoy this song from Wahinia. And then we will transition off of the live stream and we will start to listen to an amazing set from our first DJ of the evening, Bloomerian. So I'm going to put on the song from Ricky. Thank you, Wahinia. And yeah, just inviting you all to come on board and boogie with us while we enjoy. Marley, do you want to lead us in a few cleansing breaths before we kick off the rest of the dance party?
Yeah, can you hear me breathing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is part of the ritual, no?
Yeah, all right. Whew. So standing or sitting wherever you are, just connecting to your heart, connecting to the pulse of your heart. With your eyes open or closed, let's take a deep breath in through our nose, breathing in all of this life force energy, all of this prana, all of this beauty, all of this love that life has to offer us. And then opening your mouth wide, sticking your tongue out. Let's do a Kali breath. So we're going to do another one. Kali breath is a beautiful way to use the tip of your tongue like a portal to release all stagnant, unserving energy. So we're going to breathe in the beauty of life again through the nose. And as we exhale, relax the jaw, stick the tongue out, and do the Kali, breathing out any energy that's no longer serving through the tip of your tongue. Breathing in through the nose. It's a vulnerable one to do in front of a camera. Let's do it again. Breathing in through the nose. And last one. Really get it this time. Don't hold back. This is the time to let go of anything that's no longer serving you so that we can be fully throttled moving forward. Breathing in through the nose. Whew. And I invite you to do that anytime that you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, or angry. It'll help you move through the energy. Thank you, Roxy.
Thank you, Marley. That was perfect. Now we can just let it all out so we can dance and celebrate. It is our time. It is our turn. So I'm going to close the live stream portion of this. If you're out there in the world, come on in and let's kick off the rest of the celebration on the Vision Train. Yay!